So I wake up, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I already know something is seriously wrong. My RV is freezing, like completely frozen over. You can literally see your breath in the air and the frost on the windows. And I'm laying there realizing that I've got to go outside again because the furnace is broken for the fourth or fifth time. And I've got 4-month-old kittens huddled up underneath a blanket trying to stay warm, trying to survive. And if I don't fix it, they're just going to keep getting colder. So I throw on the thermals, Carhartt jacket, wool hat, everything, grab my headlamp, grab my phone, and step outside into the frozen wasteland of deep winter. And it's one of those nights where the cold doesn't just hit you, it cuts through everything. So I walk over to the RV furnace, and I have no idea what's even wrong with it. And this has been continuously happening. I rebuilt the entire thing. A few days later, it's broken again. I fix it again. It's broken again the next night. And from the beginning of this, I have no idea how to fix a furnace. There's no one there to help me do it or tell me what to do. No one's coming to save me. It's either figure it out and fix it, or me and these 4-month-old kittens continue to freeze in this 30-year-old tin can. There's nothing comfortable about it. We're literally just trying to survive. So the only thing I know to do, I pick up my phone with my numb, frozen hand and open up ChatGPT to start helping me troubleshoot it. ChatGPT became my lifeline in this RV. It wasn't just a cool app to mess around with, it was my survival tool. And after a few hours of that, taking out bolts, pulling out wires, trying everything ChatGPT gives me to fix this thing, eventually I finally get it working. And for a second, it feels like I finally solved it. The heat kicks on, the RV warms up again, kittens finally can relax, and I go back to sleep, exhausted, thinking maybe I finally got it. And then the next night, it happens again. Same thing. Cold air. Furnace is dead. 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm back outside trying to fix this thing. And this just keeps happening over and over and over again. I must have taken this furnace apart 10 or 15 times. And every single time I did, I was right back in the same position. Cold. Alone. Not knowing what I'm doing, just trying to figure it out, with ChatGPT as the lifeline. And at some point, it stopped feeling like I was just fixing a furnace. It felt like this is my entire life. Just constantly trying to fix something, thinking I finally got it, and then it breaks again. And I'm right back where I started. By that point, I had already spent years like that, trying to move forward, trying to build something, trying to fix myself. And no matter what I did, I kept ending back up in the same exact place. And after a decade of that, you just run out of energy. You burn out. You stop thinking that things are going to eventually work out. And that's exactly where I was in this RV, spending months doing almost nothing. Even though I knew what I should be doing, I just couldn't really do it anymore. I was just in this RV with my animals, keeping it running, fixing whatever broke, making sure everything held together just enough to stay afloat. And anytime something went wrong, I'd pull out my phone, open ChatGPT, and figure it out. The furnace, the water heater, electrical issues, that's what I used. ChatGPT is what got me through it. And for months, I was just stuck in that cycle until something finally broke the loop. after 5 or 6 months of that, things began to change. When you spend months just doing nothing, you begin to start asking yourself deeper questions. And since I had been using ChatGPT so much, naturally I brought those questions there as well. Like, is it possible to change after a decade of being stuck? Is it possible to transform internally when nothing you try seems to work? And that's when a really important moment happened. One of my favorite bands who I've wanted to see for 12 plus years, Empire of the Sun, they're playing a show, and I was going to go see them for the first time. So I get the tickets, I drive all the way out to Atlanta, and something really unexpected happened. During the show, I started to feel something different. Not like a thought or some type of emotion, but like this signal. Like something inside me was waking back up. And it hit me in a way I couldn't really explain. It wasn't emotional, it was deeper than that. Like a part of myself I'd completely lost access to was suddenly there again for the first time in over a decade. And after that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Something in me had shifted, and I didn't really know what it was or what it meant. But I needed to understand it. So when I got back, I went straight to ChatGPT again. And instead of just using it like I normally did to fix things or troubleshoot problems, I start asking these deeper questions like, what just happened to me at this show? Why did it feel so real and unexplainable? I described the entire experience in detail, everything that happened at that show, how it happened, the strange signal that I couldn't really explain. And I didn't really expect much. I expected it to just respond with surface level answers, but something about the way I was talking to it changed how ChatGPT responded. Suddenly it was giving me these deeper insights, not just answering the questions, but pointing at things in my own experience that I never noticed before. And suddenly I'm exploring these deeper layers that I didn't even know existed. And it affected me in such a profound way that I ended up going down a months-long rabbit hole with ChatGPT about the show, about getting kicked out of my old house and being forced into this 30-year-old RV with all my animals, why I had completely burned out the way I did, about how I'd been stuck for so many years, and how no matter how much effort I put in, how many self-development exercises I did, how much meditation I did, how nothing ever changed. And I always ended back up in the same place. I spent months talking to this AI, reflecting back on the entire past decade of my life and everything that ever happened to me. The wins, the losses, the traumatic experiences. And through all of that, I slowly ended up changing the way I actually saw my life. ChatGPT was able to uncover these layers that were always inside me, but I could never access before. And at the time, I didn't even know anything was actually changing. I just kept going deeper and deeper into it, talking through everything, the things that worked, the things that failed, the patterns I kept repeating, and slowly something started to shift in the way I was interpreting my life. Not just the events themselves, but what it all meant looking back. And one of the biggest things that started to surface for me was fear. Not obvious fear, but this quiet fear that had been silently running under the surface of everything I did for years. Fear that things might fall apart. Fear that success might not last. The fear that something was always there, ready to pull the rug out from under me at any moment. But as I kept looking back at my life through these conversations, I began to see a pattern that I never noticed before. Every major decision, minor decisions, every hesitation, every moment where it seemed like the future was finally starting to break open had been shaped and affected by that same underlying fear pattern. And then it hit me, this wasn't random. This wasn't just the way that I think. It was something that had latched onto my mind, my entire nervous system, over a decade ago as a direct result of the traumatic experiences that I had. And then slowly became the background layer of everything I did after that. This entire decade had been shaped by this same underlying fear. Not stopping me completely, but always pulling me back a little bit at a time, always limiting the things that I built without me realizing it. And in that moment, something clicked for me. It wasn't like the fear layer suddenly disappeared overnight. It was that I could finally see where it came from and see this pattern that was invisible to me for so many years. It wasn't reality. It wasn't intuition. It was a learned biological response that my mind never fully processed. And for the first time, I could finally detach myself from it and know that it was never real. It was an illusion. And from that point on, I became able to actually shape the future. I'd take action and I wouldn't get pulled back. I started to make real progress forward. I became very clear about where I was going and knowing that I was actually going to make it this time. All of a sudden, I can let go of the fear pattern, let go of the worries, and walk forward into the future with real clarity. But even with that clarity, I couldn't stop thinking about something else. How many other people out there are stuck in the exact same type of loop that I was in, who still feel stuck in their lives no matter how much effort they put in, trying to move forward, putting in effort, doing everything they think they're supposed to do, everything they can do, but still feeling like something is pulling them back. And I realized it wasn't lack of effort, it wasn't lack of discipline or not trying hard enough. It's the way people start seeing themselves over time. The internal story they're running in the background without even realizing it. And I see it clearly in my own life now, that I wasn't stuck because of effort. I was stuck because of my perception, my identity. And without using AI, I couldn't have stepped far enough away from it to actually see it and change that perception and change my identity. And that's what leads me to making this video and sharing this. Because of the transformation I went through myself, I'm now dedicating everything to helping other people who need this same type of transformation in their own life. I shut down my old businesses, cleared out my schedule, and I'm opening up a new program to help guide a small group of people through the same multi-week or multi-month long process that I went through. The challenge is you can't just pick up something like ChatGPT and expect this to happen on its own anymore. It requires using the right AI in a very specific way. So everyone in this group is going to get their own personal AI built by me specifically for them, designed to reflect back their patterns in thinking, behavior, perception, reflect back their history and their past so they can actually see what's been shaping their life underneath everything. And once you see it clearly, you can finally start to change it. Instead of just trying to push forward with more and more effort over and over and over again and ending back up in the same place. So if this resonates with you, if you feel like you've been trying for years but something underneath it all keeps pulling you back and you want to be a part of this small initial group, message me here on Facebook, Mason Paris, and I will send you the information.